Good evening and thank you for joining us this Saturday on yet another edition of the program Capital Market. I'm Temple Ashaju. On Tuesday, May the 15th, the Nigerian Senate passed a bill for the repeal and reenactment of the Companies and Allied Matters Act, popularly known as CAMA. Now, the bill was part of a slew of recommendations at a National Assembly Business Environment Roundtable in 2016, where analysts called for the review of obsolete laws and the creation of a better business enabling environment in order to realize a sustainable private sector and increase development and investment in Nigeria. The CAMA seeks to improve the ease of doing business by removing regulatory bottlenecks and fast-tracking business registration procedures. It also provides and proves that technology is a critical enabler of business growth as it promotes the use of ICT in ensuring smoother registrations. CAMA has direct relationship with the Nigerian capital market as it concerns public entities quoted on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, as well as the unlisted firms markets of the NASD OTC Securities Exchange, and of course lots of other private companies in the country. Tonight on the program, we'll weigh into the repealed and reenacted bill with a business lawyer. Our guest is a senior advocate of Nigeria and a senior partner with Alliance Law Firm, Barrister Uche Val-Obi. Together, we'll examine the renewed CAMA passed by the Senate during the week. But hold on, let's review the market behavior for the just ended trading week. And we'll take off with the unlisted securities markets, which is the NASD OTC, where the USI came in at 675.43, shedding 148% to a market capitalization of 457.08 billion naira. And we move on to the equity market, where the bears remained dominant on the domestic bourse as the all-share index fell for the third consecutive week, shedding 1.34% week on week to 40,472.45 points. This represents the highest weekly loss since mid-March 2018. And the negative returns were posted across our most sectoral indices, including banking, oil and gas, industrial goods, and insurance sectors, mirroring the broad sell-offs during the week. Let's move to the FMDQ OTC Securities Exchange, where you have the monthly report for the turnover transactions at that side of the market. Transaction turnover in the fixed income and currency markets of the FMDQ OTC Securities Exchange amounted to 14.94 trillion naira in the month of April. The market decreased by 4.59 to 0.72 trillion naira from the value recorded in March, translating, however, to a 69.81% increase year-on-year. Activities in the T-bills market accounted for 45.85% of total turnover, while foreign exchange market was responsible for 36.60% of the pie. So let's get down to business now. On Thursday, when the Upper Parliament passed the repealed and reenacted Companies and Allied Matters Act, the Senate President Bukola Saraki described the passage, saying the CAMA is by far the biggest and one of the most far-reaching legislations ever passed in any legislature in our country. Let's engage our guest, Mr. Uche Val-Obi, who is a senior advocate of Nigeria and, of course, senior managing partner at Alliance Law Firm. Thank you very much for honoring our invitations, and we really appreciate your presence here today.
Thank you very much. Good evening, viewers.
Yes, sir. So what's your first impression of the renewed CAMA? 28 years, that's 1990 when it was first put together, and now we have it been repealed and reenacted by the National Assembly.
Well, it was an old law, a law that had been in place since 1990. Definitely would not meet the exigencies of modern-day commerce. And therefore, it was therefore absolutely timely that the government took up the initiative to have the bill introduced. So, and then what this bill has done is to look at what we had in the existing 1990 CAMA, compare this with what is obtainable in more advanced economies, and what should be the trend, especially the incursion of technology in the way we do business. So they have taken all those into consideration and therefore came up with this particular bill where they looked at quite a number of things and also brought in some salient features that are quite new and novel, and they are all helping to improve the state of things.
What for you are some of these key features that are so significant enough for investors to celebrate actually the renewed CAMA?
Well, the first of them is the introducing the one-man or one-member company. Before, you need minimum of 2 people to form a company. And but right now, one person can actually register a company, own all the shares in the company, but at the same time also enjoys the separate legal entity status of a limited liability company. For small companies, this is quite possible now, and it is quite revolutionary. And the second is the introduction of the limited liability partnership. Now, limited liability partnership is a hybrid of partnership and limited liability company. It affords participants an opportunity of having the best of 2 worlds. It enjoys the partnership status in terms of the low tax regime and the flexibility associated with it, and at the same time also allows someone to do his business without